yo, do you want to look your best, be very athletic, jacked, and also move lots of weight? Well, then let me introduce you to powerbuilding. So powerbuilding is a hybrid between powerlifting, bodybuilding, and as my own little twist, I throw in athleticism as well. So powerlifting is where you train for strength and power, and your goal is to lift more weight in the big three lifts. So you have your squat, your bench, and your deadlift. So in powerlifting, your goal is literally just to have your highest 1 rep max possible in all three of the lifts. And that's basically it. Bodybuilding is where you train for muscular failure and exhaustion, and your goal is to put on size. Your goal is to become as muscular as possible, gain as much muscle mass as possible. So as my own twist, I also throw in athleticism. So you train for speed and explosiveness. Your goal is to be more mobile. So that's very general. Athleticism is a huge umbrella, covers mobility, speed, explosiveness, durability, like how are your knees always hurting, your injury prevention, that kind of thing. So when you encompass all of these, you become very well-rounded. So it really is the best of both worlds. So on top of being able to move lots of weight, becoming very strong, very powerful, you also become very good-looking, very aesthetic. You put on a lot of muscle mass. It's the most fun to train. So I'll never be the kind of person who will say like, oh, you should never deadlift, because I understand the importance of having fun in the gym. So it's very important to be motivated to go to the gym. So when you're doing a power building approach, you have so many different things to look forward to. You have your main lifts, you have your bench press that you're caring about. You're going to set a new PR, you're going to hit this many reps of this weight today or whatever. And then you'll have your bodybuilding approach too. You get a new pump every day. You can see your physique progressing. So it's fun through many different areas. It's less of an extremist approach. So this is a lot better. Especially when you run into issues with powerlifters. After they've been training for a while, they're going to run into issues, with their joints, with their nervous systems, because they're pushing themselves so hard, like to such a maximum level that their body starts to fight back. And on top of that, powerlifters don't really have a good physique. Most of them are like fat. They don't look that nice. So you don't have any of those negatives. With bodybuilding, so you don't have that negative of becoming too large to the point of where you're no longer even athletic. You're just very large. It is a good base to build off of. So with power building, you can choose what you want to do. Like if, as an earlier beginner, intermediate lifter, it's a great base to have because you can choose what you want to branch off into. Do you want to go into athletics later? Do you want to become a power lifter later? Do you want to compete in bodybuilding? Do you want to just become a runner even? You can do whatever you want because you're so well-rounded and you're so well-disciplined that you have what it takes to branch off into whatever you want to later. Naturally, it makes the most sense. So unless you want to be very, very specific, unless you know for sure, okay, I just care about lifting weight, I just want to be a better lifter in these three categories. Or unless you know, okay, I just want to become very large, I want to be as large as I possibly can, I want to be competing in bodybuilding. Unless you know for sure that you want to specify in either of those categories, power building makes the most sense because it'll allow you to build up in so many different categories. So lastly, I just want to point out that even some of the benefits of only bodybuilding are not even that much better than power building. For example, bodybuilders will become very, very large, but to me, they don't look that much better than someone who's like very athletic and also strong looking. They're just very large. So I can see that and I can respect that. I can say like that person put a lot of work into the gym, but compared to someone who's like more athletic, they look faster, they look like they can hit harder. That person looks a lot better compared to the bodybuilder, even though the bodybuilder did it for the looks. And then even same thing with powerlifting as well. I'm sure the powerlifter, of course the powerlifter is going to be better in the main three lifts, squat, bench, deadlift. But in terms of anything outside of that, I feel like a power builder is going to be more powerful in terms of when it comes to athletics, when it comes to like, hitting power, something like moving fast, athleticism. The power builder will always be better in that aspect. So on top of having the best of both worlds, you also take certain advantages that method of training was supposed to have over you. So this is why powerbuilding becomes very, very enticing. You lose very little and you gain so much. The best way, in my opinion, to do this is to follow a bodybuilding routine. But with each of your days, start with a main lift that you train for power. So for example, on push day, you start off with bench press. Or on your lower body day, you start off with the squat. And for that movement, you focus on it as if you're a power lifter. You try to train for strength, you try to train for power. You spend a little bit more time on it than you would maybe your other lifts. You do maybe a few more sets. And then you can hone in on the aspects that you want to hone in on, whether if you want to be more powerlifting focused or bodybuilding focused. So, if you want to train the other secondary movements for power because you want to be more power focused, so that would mean higher weights, lower reps, and you're focused on moving more weight, more powerfully. Let's say like on your bicep curls, for example. Like if you want to train that for power, you can do lower reps with a higher weight. Train secondary movements slower to be more bodybuilding focused. So, like bicep curls again. If you wanted to do that in a more bodybuilding way, you would do it higher reps with lower weight in a more controlled manner. So that's basically it. I just wanted to go over power building. It's a very powerful concept. I feel like most people don't do it. The reason I wanted to do it is, the reason I made this video is because I feel like a lot of people in the gym are very directionless, or they find a direction, but it's not actually aligning to their final goals. So power building, it's very good for general lifters. And on top of that, I think it's a very good direction to take if you're just a general lifter who doesn't really have, a specificity they're moving towards. I done powerlifting. I still do it. I love it. It's what makes me feel really strong, really powerful. It makes me feel like I look good with my physique. And I would recommend it to most of you as well. So that's it. That was a short video. I also want to announce that I made a new subreddit. It's called Jacked and Strong. I'm going to link it down below. If you use Reddit, feel free to go check it out. Join that community. We're going to have a small community. We're going to grow it, and we're going to succeed together. So with that being said, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, drop it a like, subscribe, and comment if you have anything else to add. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.